Hi, Marina. My name is Farrell.
Hello, Farrell.
Nice to meet you.
Not Pharrell.
No, not Pharrell. But a lot of people will say that. It's like, no, I have no talent like that at all. So what do you think of Salt Lake City?
I love Salt Lake City. This is one of my favorite conventions to come to. They just treat us so well here. The fans are amazing. There's a wonderful kind of atmosphere in Salt Lake. I don't know what it is. The energy in this city is really good.
Well, I've noticed people are really, really nice here. You know, when I go around and I talk to people, everybody's really nice and want to chit chat, and it seems like people will help you. And I've never really been to like a big city. I mean, Salt Lake's like the biggest place I've ever been, but people will tell me stuff like, "Oh, you go to these other cities and people aren't nearly as polite." Is that true, or?
It is true because this is a big city, but it doesn't seem to be as busy as most big cities. So it's not like New York or London, where there's lots of traffic and lots of people milling, and there's a much calmer vibe here, and it may have something to do with the fact that we're in the center of Mormonism here, and maybe they're just really nice people. Maybe they're really nice people. I don't know. I'm not one of them, but
the Mormons are nice people. They really are.
Yeah, and maybe that's the simple answer. Mormons are really nice people.
So, what was the first role that you ever did? Can you remember the first thing that you ever did?
Professionally or not?
Not just the first time you ever performed.
I was in a school play, and I played, because I went to an all-girls school, I played Malvolio in Twelfth Night, which is a boy's part. But because I was the only one who was going to be an actress, the teacher said, you choose the part that you want to play. And I chose Malvolio, because although it's not the leading role, it's the best role in the play. So
the most challenging.
Actually, just the best, the funniest, the just all around the best part in the show.
So one more question. You said that you're here with the symphony reading. How'd you book a gig like that? That seems like that would be awesome.
It is awesome, and they came to me. So I think I'm going to be the first woman to ever say space, the final frontier. I'm really looking forward to it.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so question I ask everybody because I'm a big nerd. What do you think of Salt Lake City?
I love Salt Lake City. I've been here a few times before. The first time I came was for the premiere of a movie called The Other Side of Heaven years ago. And then I shot a film here called My Girlfriend's Boyfriend with Alyssa Milano that was written and directed by a local boy, Darren Tufts. So I've spent a lot of time in Salt Lake. I love it.
So another dumb question about Utah. Have you been to Sundance?
I have been to Sundance, and Sundance is actually a lot of fun. Have you been?
You know what? It's crazy, and we're not famous. We're just average Joes, so we have to stand out in the cold and just hope maybe we get a glimpse of a celebrity.
Sundance is a lot more fun if you're in one of the films.
I'm sure it is, but that requires some sort of talent that I don't have, so I'm not able to get in a movie.
Understood.
If I was in a movie, the credits would roll, and I'd be weird guy number 8. I think is where I'd be.
Listen, there's a place for that. There's a place for that.
Well, I'm there then. I'm there. Alrighty. Well, and have you done the Comic Cons before?
This is only my second Comic Con. The first one I did was in Birmingham, England. This is the first one I've done in the States. It's enormous. It's giant.
So what do they do them in England? Like under London Bridge? I mean, I'm unaware of like the kind of facilities they would have.
These things, it's the same. It's very similar to this. It's just smaller. In Birmingham, it's a smaller space. Well, I don't even know if the space is that much smaller. It's just a smaller con. But this is like truly impressive.
It's crazy, right? Like the first one that we did, they had here, you couldn't walk through the place. There were so many people.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what this is going to be like in about 45 minutes.
I think you're right. All right. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
All right. I'm here with
Cammie Dixon.
Bill Rogers.
And what brings you guys out to Antelope Island today?
Oh man, our friends Tim and Becky Hughes brought us out here last year, but we were only here for a couple of hours, and we thought next year we're coming out for a longer stay. This is an incredible event.
The Antelope Island Festival has just been so much fun. We have just had a ball doing this. I mean, both of us work in the entertainment business, especially in kind of what they call amusements. Cammie's the voice of Disney California Adventure, and I tend to say things like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But, that aside, we love to come out and just enjoy things like this because they're so much fun. They're just part of what goes on in the world. And boy.
And you know what? I have a confession to make because we live in Los Angeles and Salt Lake, and I've lived in Utah for 25 years, and this is now my second time coming out to the festival, but I had never heard of it before last year. So this is a good thing that you guys are out getting the word out and getting more people to come and enjoy this incredible event.
Very definitely.
Yeah, I actually had never heard of it either, and I do believe I was out here 2 years ago, and to me the kites are really cool. These great, they're as big as a house, and they fly.
And the precision flyers, they are mesmerizing. And you've got to see it in person.
The guys with the paragliders, you are not going to believe what you can do with a kind of weirdly shaped canopy and a gasoline engine. You got to come out and see this. I mean, this is fabulous.
And it's just one of the most relaxing experiences.
Yes.
You know, this has just been a great weekend.
Not a whole lot of hustle and bustle. Everybody seems kind of laid back and just kind of wandering around to whatever's next.
And
laid back is the entire word. Yes,
and you meet the nicest people here. We have just had a ball.
Alrighty, guys. Well, hey, I appreciate your time. I'll let you get back, but thanks for talking with me.
All right,
Definitely.
thank you.
Take care.
Enjoy.
Alrighty, I am with
Tim Hughes.
And Tim, what brings you out to Antelope Island?
Well, I actually do a Saturday morning radio show on KSL called KSL Outdoors, and so we always get the invite to come up here, and I love working with Davis County and being a part of the festivities.
Yes, I recognize your voice. I'm like, where do I know that voice from? So now I know where from the radio.
And I know that voice and that face from Channel 17.
Oh man, I'm sorry about your luck. you think Bill could get some better looking people in front of this camera, wouldn't you?
Well, he's got to work with what he's got. You know the budget, right?
Yes, unfortunately I do. Yeah.
Okay.
So, you guys are talking about a big ATV trip. What's with that?
We're getting ready to stage, if we can get all the cooperation we need from manufacturers and suppliers along the way. We're going to ride border to border from the Idaho border all the way down to the Arizona border through Utah on ATVs, all on trails with a couple of skips across some pavement. But just to show people that you really don't have to go tear up the landscape anywhere. There's plenty of trail systems in Utah to do it the right way so that we can maintain access for all of us that love to get off-road and play.
Yeah, so you're going to have like doctors and stuff following you. Imagine you're going to be a little sore riding that far on ATVs, don't you think?
You're asking if we're going to have doctors on the trip?
Doctors or maybe massage therapists or something. I imagine you'd be a little sore.
No, Bill's offering back rubs and stuff, but none of us want any part of that.
Well, I don't know. I bet he got pretty soft hands. It might not be too bad.
Yeah, you know better than I do, and I really don't want to know how you know. But no doctors. We're looking for a couple of mechanics that might act as tail gunners in case we break down. However,
there you go. You get the right machines, you won't need mechanics.
Well, and that's the debate. I mean, ask 5 different people around the campfire which brand's going to keep you on the trail, and you get 5 different answers. That's the problem.
And everybody's is right.
They've all had a breakdown on one or another, yeah.
All righty, well, hey, I'll let you get back to doing what you're doing, but I appreciate you talking with me.
No problem, thanks.
All righty, I'm here with
Scott Truax.
And can you tell me a little bit about this awesome machine?
Well, this is the Evil Spirit. We are recreating Evel Knievel's failed 1974 attempt to jump the Snake River Canyon in a rocket.
So you're going to recreate everything except the failure, correct?
Exactly.
Really? But I heard he knew he couldn't do it.
Oh, Holly, don't start
Where
that
did you hear
controversy.
that?
Is that bad?
Don't start that kind of controversy.
That was
We're
not-
having fun here, Holly, and you're ruining it.
Don't go there.
Yeah, see, she doesn't. Let me apologize for her right now.
That's okay.
Okay. So, what is the reasoning behind for you to read? I mean, it's awesome. I'm glad you're doing it, but what's the reasoning behind doing it?
Well, it was my dad that built the original rocket for Evel Knievel, and it was something that failure. My dad was a brilliant rocket scientist in his own right, but most famous for this failure. And it was like climbing halfway up Mount Everest. You can't just get halfway there and then say, forget it. You got to go all the way.
So as a kid, did you see this happen? Did
Yeah,
you
I was
see
6 years old.
Really?
The building of this rocket represents some of my oldest and fondest childhood memories. I'm from a time I was a little tyke. I remember my dad building this cool rocket in our garage.
How cool is that? So, how old were you when he did the jump? How long?
6.
Did it take? You were. And it took how long to build the rocket with your dad?
I think my dad worked on it for a little over 2 years.
Go ahead.
So what kind of fuel does it use? I mean, you put like an Estes rocket engine on it and let it go, or
It's steam powered, just like the original. Fit, form, and function. It is identical to the original. Our rocket has a little bit extra structure in the front for safety because when Knievel he hit pretty hard and it bent the nose cone. So we want to make sure that Eddie goes home safe after this.
that's a long drop down right there at the Snake.
Yeah, and it's the rocket ride is absolutely brutal. It goes 0 to 435 miles an hour in 5 seconds, and
That's worse than a dragster.
yeah, it is. It's much faster than a dragster. It'll go a little over 2,000 feet high and 3/4 of a mile downrange.
So I'm looking at your Facebook page, and I actually read the newspaper in Twin Falls a lot, and there was something on there about the original rocket. Somebody's looking for it.
Yeah,
right?
that's us.
Oh, have you guys found it? Any lead at all?
There were 3 original rockets. There was the X1, which was a prototype, and it was launched. Didn't have a provision to land, so it went down into the canyon, down into the water, and they fished it out, and we don't know what happened to it after that. So we're looking for that piece of memorabilia. The other 2 rockets, the first test rocket looked like this, is in a museum in Canada. The one Knievel flew is owned by Kelly Knievel, his oldest son.
But the third one is supposedly in someone's garage in Twin Falls.
I keep hearing rumors about in a barn somewhere, so we're trying to figure it out.
So did they know, was it fished out of the river when it crashed? Oh, it was. So somebody has it somewhere then.
Knievel paid $5,000 to have it fished out, and then after that, it's anyone's guess. It just sort of vanished.
So are you making a documentary film about this whole process? Or?
No, we're it's sort of a symbiotic relationship with the film people here. They're doing a film, we're doing a rocket jump. It's all Evel Knievel, The rising Knievel tide raises everybody's boats.
Well, I mean, what's cooler than Evel Knievel, especially if he's a kid in the 70s and 80s?
Well, I'll tell you, I have a little story. I talk about when you were a kid, when we were kids. Your mom would make you lunch in a lunchbox. And the coolest lunchbox to have was the Evel Knievel lunchbox. If you didn't have that one, you wanted it. And on the front of it was a picture of Evel Knievel. On the back of it was the rocket that was in my garage that my dad built.
Yeah, how cool is that?
It doesn't get any.
You're like, look, Junior, you got the lunchbox, I have the rocket.
And see, Eddie Braun, the pilot, he's a Hollywood stuntman. He's been doing stunts for 30 years, and he's very well accomplished. He saw Knievel jump when he was just a young kid, and he said after that, he got to meet Knievel, and he didn't want to do anything else. So he's been a stuntman for 30 years.
Well, I have to say this. You have a Slash sticker on the front. How cool is that?
That's pretty cool. We've got Eddie and Slash are good buddies, and we'll reveal what part he plays in this whole big thing.
So he has some kind of a...
Yeah.
So when is this jump supposed to take place?
It'd be this summer. We don't have an exact date yet. We have one that's tentative, but plan on seeing it this summer.
Because I want to get tickets. I want to go.
Well, keep checking out our Facebook page, returntosnakeriver.com. We have returntosnakeriver.com, and then we have a Return to Snake River Facebook page. The website has less information. It's a little cleaner. The Facebook page has all the crap that I throw on there.
That's awesome.
Just whatever.
Good luck.
Are you as excited as I'm such a nerd.
Isn't it beautiful?
I'm giddy as a schoolgirl. This is like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Troy Lee of Troy Lee Designs did the paint, and he does a lot of NASCARs and a lot of helmets, and he did Eddie's helmet and the rocket, and this is the first time, yesterday was the first time I saw it, and this is the first time I've seen it in the daylight, and it's like a jewel.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Super beautiful.
Alrighty, well, hey, I really appreciate your time. Thank you for talking with me.
You're welcome.
Thank you for talking to him.
So, can you tell me a little bit about, what do you think about Salt Lake?
I love Salt Lake. I've been here before. I was in 2 films that were shot here. One was Clay Pigeons with Vince Vaughn, Joaquin Phoenix. The other was Way of the Gun. Benicio del Toro, Ryan Felipe, Juliette Lewis. Good cast.
So, how many movies have you been in approximately? I asked the hard-hitting questions here.
The hard ones, yeah. I don't know, somewhere around 70, plus TV shows.
So, what was the first role you ever played, just non-professionally, the first thing that you ever did where you decided you want to be an actor?
I did a monologue for this acting class from Eugene O'Neill one-act play called A Long Voyage Home. And when I did that, I said, this is what I want to do. I knew it. And so from that point on, that's what I pursued.
So most people know you from The Walking Dead, obviously. How long were you on that show for?
3 seasons, yeah. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
And then one other question I got for you. My daughter loves The Walking Dead. Loves it. And your character, she loved it. She was so upset when everything happened. Is there any way you could just say hi to my daughter, Kinsey, on camera?
What's your name?
Her name is Kinsey.
Kinsey, your dad is here just glowing about you. He thinks you're wonderful, and I'm thrilled that you're a fan of the show. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.